Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips and let's talk about Season 11 of CBS's The Big Bang Theory. First, we'll tell you our recap of the show, followed up by a review, and then we'll finish off with telling you if it's worth the watch. Created by Chuck Lorre and Bill Prady, The Big Bang Theory follows the story of a young aspiring actress who moves into an apartment across the hall from two brilliant but socially awkward scientists. As they form an unlikely friendship, they are able to teach each other about life from their differing perspectives. So, recap time. The main story of Season 11 revolves around Sheldon and Amy's impending engagement as they constantly butt heads on decisions before the big day. Howard and Bernadette learn she is pregnant again and have their second child while adjusting to parenthood. Rauch and Stuart continue to assert themselves into Howard and Bernadette's marriage while tirelessly dating in an attempt to find someone for themselves. Sheldon has to come to terms with the dead ends in his research and not being the center of attention in everyone's lives as their wedding day finally arrives. The aspect about The Big Bang Theory that always interested me was the original premise. Watching a group of socially awkward intellectuals and pop culture nerds try to fit in with their normal neighbor and her friends had a unique twist to it. This premise allowed for an unlimited amount of guest stars that would top any comic convention wish list, paired with the best part of this show, the science. In seasons past, the characters were consistently doing fun little science experiments or discussing big scientific ideas, and through the last few years, that idea has faded. As the series introduced more female characters, they diverted away from the scientific storylines and focused more on the characters and their relationships. While this is a very important piece to sustaining a show for so long, it shouldn't have come at the cost of destroying the show's original premise. The female characters on this show have become less three-dimensional than initially shown and are next to nothing without their nerdy counterparts. This is seen through the lack of exploration in Bernadette's journey into motherhood as well as returning back to her science-based job. Instead, she just becomes the butt of every joke of her husband and nannies. Meanwhile, Penny had almost no character growth this season as she just sits around drinking wine and taking jabs at the inability for these nerds to comprehend basic social skills. She isn't the only one who has little to no storyline this season, as Leonard does almost nothing other than criticize others and complain every chance he can get. It would have been smart to explore their marital problems storyline that was introduced for these two, as creating tension between them and by extension the group would have allowed for a lot more dramatic build-up to the season finale, while creating more organic comedic moments along the way. The funny thing is that this show is shot in front of a live studio audience, and yet the laughter feels more forced than a dubbed-over laugh track. The jokes tend to veer towards Sheldon's selfishness, Leonard's pessimism, Howard's racism, and Raj's sexism, which has essentially made these characters caricatures of their former selves. It has become tiresome to watch the same situations play themselves out, with most of these characters never learning from these experiences. The show's redeeming qualities end up being those few character moments where they realize something and actually learn from it, and the surprising amount of guest stars that continue to frequent the show. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. This season of The Big Bang Theory is a slow, meandering journey that shows the inner workings of Sheldon's brain when dealing with his biggest problem yet, wedding planning. As the stories lead up to the big day, there is a severe lack of interesting scientific storylines or genuine humor, causing many of the characters to feel as if they are cardboard cutouts used when needed to help fill a narrative on the show. While some shows reinvent themselves to keep things fresh after 10 seasons, this group of friends and their stories have seemed to run their course. From its humorless, tiresome situations to its shift from its original scientific premise, this show has fallen from grace as one of the best original sitcoms, so I'm gonna say it's not worth the watch. And that's our recap and review of Season 11 of The Big Bang Theory. If you've seen it, what did you think? And was it worth the watch? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and thanks for watching. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest Worth the Watch video where we recap and review Season 3 of Superstore. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.